Okay, hello accountants again. We are winding down to our last couple assignments here, and I have a couple templates left for you. So this is the template for our 13th assignment under Unit 5, Section 2. This is Payroll Accounting 1. And in Part 1, you are to calculate the gross pay for Amanda, who is a store clerk. So this one's actually pretty easy, and I put together a table for you. First, you're going to look at her regular hours worked that week, and if you've been reading the text, which I know all of you have been, regular hours is considered 40 hours a week, and then anytime over 40 hours is considered overtime. So keep that in mind as you're doing your calculations. So with regular, you're going to put the amount of hours, regular hours she worked that week, times the rate, and it looks like her rate is $6.60 an hour, and then the total for pay for her regular hours worked. Then you're going to calculate her overtime hours. So if she's worked 40 regular hours, it looks like she has 3 hours left over for overtime. And then you need to take that times the overtime rate, which we learned in our text that the overtime rate is 1.5 times regular, 1.5 times regular rate, kind of the standard. And so then we need to calculate what our overtime rate is. So we're just going to pull up our calculator here. I'm going to take 660 times 1.5, and that gives me my overtime rate. So I will jot down $9.90 in my rate box here to multiply times my overtime hours. So you're figuring out Amanda's gross pay then. You should have the total here in this cell, and that is her gross pay, which means before taxes. And that's all there is to it to Part 1. Then down here in Part 2, we are calculating the Social Security and Medicare taxes that are going to be withheld from Jordan's yearly salary. So I give this information to you that in 2012, the maximum taxable earnings for Social Security tax is $110,000. So we can go ahead and tax all of Jordan's salary. For example, in 2007, the maximum taxable earnings was only $97,500. So in 2007, we would have only been able to tax $97,500 of his salary. But since the taxable earnings amount has gone up, that means we get to tax all of his income. Sorry, Jordan. So what you're going to put in this box is the taxable income. So in this case, since we can tax all of it, you're going to put in $100,000 here times our Social Security tax rate, which I'm sure all of you remember your conversion of percentages to a decimal. So if we're taking $100,000 times 6.2%, that's going to look like this. And that should give you your total in security taxes and Social Security taxes that he will be paying that year. Okay, and then you need to do the same for Medicare and find out how much in Medicare he'll be paying that year. And then I want the total amount of taxes withheld from his paycheck for that year. And that will go in this cell right here. So again, pretty easy. You're just figuring out tax rates. And for this final part, you are just telling me what each part of this payroll register is below and what it determines. So just start here and say number 1 is it looks like total hours column, and then I want you to tell me what the total hours column, describe it for me. What does it tell us? Okay, so that's all there is to it, to this next assignment, and if you have any questions, let me know.